welcome back to 100% Chelsea and welcome to episode 10 of Sad Bastard's Corner. As usual, I'm joined by Lewis and we're in the Green Man. How are you, my friend?
Bit better after Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still feeling a bit down about it, but you know, it's one of those things.
Some Chelsea fans don't help.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you'll get onto that later, I suppose. But we'll jump straight into the questions. First, we'll start off with, like we usually do on Twitter. First one comes in from a friend of the channel, James D. Hambis, and he asks, multiple areas in the team need to be fixed, but for the time being, would you be happy with Pedro as a false nine? He's played that role for Barca and it keeps Hazard in his natural position.
You know what, it'd be worth a try, because we know the striker situation, we've explained it for weeks and weeks, and nothing seems to really be improving. It will be something different. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, let's try Hazard as a false nine, it might work if we play a lot more attacking. We know it didn't work with Conte because he was barely touching the ball. It would probably be the same thing if he was if we played him as a false nine under Sarri as well, because he'd be used as more of a poacher. But that's why we shouldn't do it, because he's our best player. Your best player can't be having a small amount of touch on the ball. And plus, he's already come out and said in February that he prefers playing on the left. He doesn't really like playing as a centre forward anyway. Yeah,
I mean, well, the thing is, what I'd say to that is, well, I don't know, I think Pedro's sort of, it's hard for me to say, but I just don't think Pedro would work there, to be honest. I think that, well, if we look back to when he played at Barca, it's been a very, very long time since he played there now. He's gone through, how many systems has he gone through at Chelsea since playing at Barca? Maybe four or
yeah,
four
the 4-2-3-1 with Jose, 3-4-3 and now the 4-3-3.
Yeah, so, and 3 at the back as well.
Yeah, because we also played 3-5-2 for a while as well.
So, I don't know, maybe it would take a while for him to adapt to it. I mean, it's an interesting proposition.
I want to see. I'm not even saying it would specifically be a perfect idea, but not gonna lie, Morata hasn't really worked. Giroud hasn't really been getting the goals. He has linked up play, but he hasn't been getting the goals that your striker needs to be getting. Pedro might be something different. It'd be worth a shot. If it didn't work, at least we just say it didn't work.
Yeah, well, by all means. I mean, I wouldn't mind us trying it out, definitely. But a good question anyway. Next one comes in from @JoshK84. He asks 2 questions. Number 1 is, who's most likely to miss the coach or get on the wrong train on an away day? Yeah, well, the thing is, it's got to be you, but I think at the same time it's got to be Louis as well. And he's not here at the moment, annoyingly.
Here's the thing though, has Louis ever missed the train or the coach?
Well, the thing is, he's not missed it, but he's always missed, not always, but he's missed the first train or the train that somebody else has got before.
We nearly missed it at Liverpool, but all the trains got cancelled, so we got lucky.
Oh, Liverpool's an awful trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, well, you and Lewis, and terrible timekeeping, sticking to a time, you guys are just rubbish at it, so.
It's dreadful.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that great. But the thing is, that's the one thing I want to say, ain't just me. Now, I understand, it's probably going to be me for this question because I have form with it. I think it was Brighton last season, I overslept and all the trains down from Wembley to Fulham Broadway were cancelled, so I couldn't get the coach. There was a decent train down there.
Yeah, I don't think I did that day, but I did hear about that, to be fair. Well, I think it's one of those things, luckily Scott's been driving us this season to away games, so we haven't really had the opportunity to miss anything per se at the moment. But you know, it would be quite nice to have just go back on train up to an away day. You know, it's just one of those things. One of those things I'd like to do again.
It'd be a bit less cramped.
Yeah, it would, but then again, it'd be more expensive. So
yeah.
But it's best of both worlds, I suppose. The second question is, which away day do you hate the most in terms of travel, atmosphere, or just the club that you're playing?
In terms of travel, it's got to be fucking Burnley.
Yeah.
At least Newcastle has decent nightlife.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Burnley is dead. At least Viz is there, but other than that...
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Viz, but other than that, it's just nothing to it, it's just cold.
Well, it was when we went there, but not, mind you, it wasn't too bad. The weather last time we played last season.
The weather wasn't too bad, but the 8-hour train journey was.
Yeah, the train journey was shocking.
We left at 11 a.m. that Thursday, and we came back at 6 a.m. the next day, and we didn't even leave the country.
Yeah, fucking hell. Wow. When you think about it like that, it was absolutely treks. The thing is, the train on the way there, I think it broke down like twice. And so we remember we were stuck like in this like train just next to a train yard for ages and ages.
I don't even know what we were doing there. We
can't
were there
remember.
for like 2 hours.
I think they were changing the train or something, the locomotive or something round. But my God, it took ages and it was boiling. It was so hot that day as well. But
So you think that's only travel though?
well,
In
yeah,
terms of
that's it.
atmosphere
I
in the
suppose.
club. Fucking West Ham. I know it's local, but I hate going to the London Stadium.
Yeah, it is disgusting. I mean, it's not even a
such
football
a
stadium.
shit ground.
It is awful. I mean, everything culminates for it to just be such a poor away day. But it is what it is. I think I've got to add as well, in terms of ground, Stoke away. I don't like Stoke.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mind Stoke.
It's
I took the coach up there every time I went, but I didn't mind Stoke. It's always a decent away.
In terms of travel, but the atmosphere, especially when they were in the Prem, it's not what it supposedly used to be.
Yeah,
It's nothing really.
Come on, there's like 2 or 3 good Premier League home grounds.
Well, yeah, I suppose. And I mean, the thing is, I don't like. I really hate the concourse at Stoke as well, because you know they've got the caged bars.
Everton's is a lot worse. Everton's
It's tiny, but I quite like the
No,
old school.
it fits half the size of the actual allocation that we have. So
Yeah.
you're just cramped.
Yeah, I suppose. But I mean, I quite like the old school stuff when it comes to stadiums like that. But it's personal preference, I suppose. Next one comes in from at Mr. Honk Dizzle. He asks, who would you bring back from the Lone Army next season?
Mason Mount for one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Because he
definitely
impressed
say,
when he
yeah.
was against us. He's been impressing all season for Derby under Lampard.
Yeah, I think he's the main one that I would at the moment. Now, obviously the talk of probably the big two, Bakayoko and Batshuayi. Now, Bakayoko's supposedly coming back into form at Milan, and Batshuayi, he's had a bit of a mixed season so far, but could you see any of them two coming back?
With Batshuayi, I was hearing rumours that Valencia wanted to loan him back. I sent him back a couple of weeks ago.
Well, the thing
I don't know if he's doing that well down there. I don't really want to say until...
I think it's very mixed. I did hear that, but I mean, he's had some good games and he's had some bad games, but obviously we're still in November anyway, but I don't think anyone's coming back in Jan.
Here's the thing, if he improved technically, I wouldn't mind having him back. Because he's still a great finisher and he's a brilliant poacher and he would suit the system well. It's just technically he ain't all there from when he was with us.
The thing is, I'm just thinking to myself, even though Batshuayi is not in the best of form, I personally think that he would score more goals than Morata. And I'm not saying better player, I'm just saying I think he would score more goals.
I think even last season before Batshuayi left, he had more goals than Morata. But you look at both of them when they're playing, you create more when you have Morata than you created more when you had Morata last season than when you had Batshuayi, because Batshuayi outside the box was just poor. But he killed a lot of attacks.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that to a certain extent.
Here's
But
the
my
thing,
overall, my
that's
overall
the thing.
thing
Your
is,
overall game has to improve as a striker. It's not just it's especially under Sarri. It's not just about putting the ball in that.
yeah, I accept that. I just think it's worth a go. I mean, it's got to that point now where, I mean, don't get me wrong, Giroud is still in with a shout for me. I think Giroud should still start. He's not like world class, but I still think he should start. Just it's my personal opinion now. I mean, well, I've been saying it for yonks, to be honest. But I mean, I'm trying to think of some other notable loanees that we've got out at the moment, but there's nobody really.
I'm not gonna lie, other than Mason Mount, I weren't really thinking of anyone. You were saying Bakayoko. You've got to be really good technically to work in a Sarri midfield three. And not gonna lie, even though Bakayoko is improving, I don't know if he's gonna be that good for us.
I don't think he will be, to be honest. Yeah, I think his time was already up by the time he left for loan. I think his time's already up at Chelsea, but as long as
Hopefully
we
he
can
succeeds
cash
at Milan, and hell, maybe they might even buy him if he continues to improve.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've said it, but there's nobody who I want to see fail because that's just a stupid mindset to have.
That's not a Chelsea mindset.
Exactly. So, and I think that if he just goes and succeeds somewhere else, you know, it's what I said with Conte as well. Like, just go if you do something else.
If you succeed somewhere else, just good for you, innit?
Yeah.
Happy for you.
Scott, I think you were.
What
you were
about Zuma?
Oh yeah, Zuma.
How's Zuma been doing for Everton?
He's been starting most of the time for them.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
one of their main choice centre backs.
Everton or what? Now they're about are they 8th or 9th in the league or something like that?
I'm not sure.
I think they're floating around Europe, the European spots. I think but
They're
I
in
can't
the conversation for it.
Yeah,
But it's a lot better than Stoke last season.
oh yeah,
At least there's
definitely.
But I'm not gonna lie. For Zuma, probably not the best time.
Mm.
But let's see at the end of the season.
I mean, what I'd say to Zuma is, I think that injury that he got at Arsenal or United when he landed off the jump.
United, 15, 16.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of he's not been the same Zuma since then.
He hasn't, but I think now he's at Everton, there might be the chance for us to see some development. Stoke, it was all about trying to stay up. Everton, at least now they're ambitious.
Yeah, well, he's playing around with some good players at Everton at the moment, and even in defence as well. So it'll be interesting to see actually. I mean, it looks like now. We might talk about it later in the show, but David Luiz is now beginning to get a lot of people very, very rolled up. So you know maybe there's an option there.
You know the stats. I think about 63% of the goals were his fault this season.
Yeah, that I did see that as well. I mean it's there to see, unfortunately. But yeah, anyway, it's a good question. The next one comes in from @GM Football FC. Thoughts on Saturday after a few days, and that will come on to another question we've been asked as well. Lewis another one is Lewis. Why don't you repost behind the scenes vlogs on the main channel 100% Chelsea? And thoughts on Drogba retiring. So we'll cover the first bit. We'll cover the first question first. Linking in with a question from Insta as well from Elliot.Steven. Do you think Kante and Jorginho should swap positions? Now, this is a talking point that's come up after Saturday, and obviously you, Louis, and Scott did a video. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, sofa review.
Yeah. So we've already sort of talked about it, but just a few more extra thoughts in, or you can just build on some of what you said.
Well, one of my main points was that we haven't looked that great over the last couple of games. Burnley was the last game where I could say that we looked like title contenders. I think Palace, we weren't great until Kovacic and Hazard came on. Bate, there just was nothing. Everton, also nothing. Came on a little bit in the second half, but we could have lost the game in the first half the way we were playing.
Yeah.
You look at it, and Spurs, their last couple of games before they faced us wasn't that great as well. But you go into that game and we just got outclassed, and that's the one. As much as I hate to say, because it's Tottenham, we did just get outclassed. They were better than us in every area of the pitch.
I mean, for me, I think it just exposed where we really are weak on Saturday.
I think Sarri's tactics were also exposed as well, and that's the thing that kind of worried. That was one of the only things that worried me at the start when we first signed Sarri, and it was that a lot of Napoli fans are saying that once he has a winning formula, he likes to stick to it and he doesn't like to change it. And we've seen it over the entire season. He has his starting lineup, and they're not going to change.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because Tottenham exposed Jorginho against. I won't say they exposed Jorginho, but I'd say they. What's the word? They just kept him quiet.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, the word you'd use is had him in his back pocket.
Basically, yeah. Tottenham had Jorginho in his back pocket, and with that,
in their back pocket.
Yeah, and they closed off the entire midfield by doing that.
Yeah,
which means the attack had nothing, and the defence was just getting outnumbered.
Exactly. Jorginho, you know, he's that guy. Once you take him out of the game, then the system just.
No, but that's the thing, because this is the Premier League, and it's got the best managers in the world. No matter what system you bring into this league, eventually someone's going to figure it out. And the thing is, Liverpool, they will change formations if something's not working. Man City, if something's not working, they'll change formations because they have the tools to do so. We don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point, actually. It's it's one of those things. But I think the next one's Fulham at home now. Obviously, they've just come off the back of win with Ranieri.
Fulham are going to sit back against us, and here's the thing: this midfield's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But bar Ross Barkley, the one weakness in this midfield is that no one takes a shot. So if they sit back against us, all we're going to do is pass it around.
Yeah.
Now, we have the quality to beat Fulham. I'm not saying we're not going to beat them. But I think it's going to be a much tougher game than we think it's going to be.
Yeah, well, make sure you check out Lawrence's preview for that anyway. It'll be out in a few days. The next one is, Lewis, why don't you repost behind-the-scenes vlogs on the main channel, 100% Chelsea?
Simply put, I need exclusive stuff for my channel. There's barely anything I put on there as is. By the way, like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis.
There we go. I was allowing you to have the plug there.
Right. Actually, no, it's you.
Thoughts on Drogba retiring is the next bit. Let's just start by saying what an amazing career.
I'm going to do it.
My favourite.
Yeah,
because I've got a couple of points.
Yeah.
Take something I saw this morning, bloody hell.
Yeah, but what an incredible career. Fair play to you, really, honestly.
Yeah.
Truly fantastic
Big
player.
game player, Arsenal slayer, fucking love Drogba.
Yeah, stopped a war in his own country as well, didn't he?
No,
The man's
you can't
man can
hate
do
Drogba.
anything.
Even Munich fans love him.
Yeah, to be fair play to them for
Yeah, you saw the
putting that
tweet
tweet
they
out.
put,
Yeah.
I
To
think
be
it's type of club they are though, but I would say that I was watching this morning, Have Hope. Some of his opinions are a bit odd, but his opinion on Drogba I was watching this morning I think was really on point. I think that he is one of the best lone strikers, possibly the best lone striker the Premier League's ever seen. What he means by that is most of the strikers look nowadays, false nines, or they like playing with two, or they'll get in behind or whatever. He is the one person who could, in terms of lone striker, like hold the ball up, whether they've got 2-3 people around them, and they could outmuscle them and they could do something with it. So you got like the Costas, the Drogbas, the Wayers, etc.
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, it's definitely a very worthy shout. That I'm trying to think of. I mean, Shearer probably is the only other one I can think of who played as. Did he play as a lone striker or was he in a two?
He was in a two with Sutton, but I don't know if he was in a two at Newcastle.
Yeah, but there's not many I can think of. And the thing is, though Drogba is not like at the very, very top for like most Premier League goals, it's kind of weird when I look at that stat because I remember him just scoring so many.
You gotta think about Drogba's all-round game. The thing is, he was about more than goals. And I remember Lampard saying that his link-up with Drogba was key for the amount of goals that not just Drogba got every season, but for himself as well. Because Drogba would take 2 or 3 defenders away with him every time he had the ball. And then whenever he has the ball, Lampard can make a late run into the box.
Yeah.
Or whenever he has the ball, he has acres of space. And you know what Lampard's like with long shots.
That is true. I mean, the thing I say is, props to Drogba because he's now sort of, well, for me, he's like the player I compare new players to in terms of strikers. He's like that guy who I like, yeah, if you can play like Drogba, then you're doing something right.
Yeah.
And I look at our new signings, like with Morata and Morata mainly, but I just compare it to even Diego Costa.
Yeah.
I mean, I compare Diego Costa to Drogba because that was the standard.
Yeah.
And Diego Costa was arguably at that level. And if he had spent a long time at Chelsea, then arguably he could have been even better than Drogba.
Yeah, I think there's a case for that.
It would have been a stretch. It would have been a very big stretch because he was getting old.
Costa's numbers in his first 3 seasons, I think, were bigger than Drogba's.
Yeah.
I think they're a lot bigger actually.
So it just goes to show. But that's what I mean. I love Drogba, and obviously he's one of the golden generation of Chelsea that we've sort of grown up with, and
He's given us so many memories as well.
exactly the ultimate memory as well. Yeah.
There will never be a greater moment, I don't think.
No, because the thing is, we can win it again, but there's nothing quite like the first one.
I don't think so. I think it's just everything went perfect. That after the first Napoli game, ever since Di Matteo came in, everything went perfectly.
Well, yeah, it was like it was fate, wasn't it? It was like it was written. But yeah, I mean that's our thoughts on Drogba retiring anyway, guys. Feel free to put comments in the comment section below, obviously, about memories from Drogba or anything like that. So yeah, but great questions anyway. The next one comes in from @Barkley SZN, and he asked, do we need a director of football, and if so, who would be your nominees?
Yes. And I'd say, I can't remember his name. I can't remember his last name, but the Everton one, the one who came in this season, Brands, I think his last name is.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Because if you look how badly Everton were last season, spending their money and how much they spent, who they got, and how badly it went, and how it's changed this season, it's one change, apart from the manager obviously, but in terms of like getting players in, it's one change, it's him. And I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head who else we could get that would make that sort of a difference.
I mean, what are you saying there, Lewis?
I think we need one mainly because transfers. You look at transfers over the last couple of seasons, and I think that speaks for it in itself. The players that we've got haven't been the ones that the managers have wanted. You see Conte. You remember all of Conte's problems with the board last season.
Yeah.
Jose in the 15-16 season, he was saying he wasn't being given the players he wanted. You take a look, even with Maurizio Sarri this season, we only got Jorginho, and I think Jorginho is only because Sarri specifically pushed for him.
Yeah.
Apart that, we only got Rob Green and Kepa because Courtois left.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, with a director of football, a lot of people ask sort of like, oh, what is a director of football? What is their actual job? Because they don't hold, I'm pretty sure they don't hold any money in the club,
Yeah,
and they're
no.
still on the board. So, but they work as a stopgap as well between the manager and the board, and the manager and the owner. And I think that is so important for what you were saying about transfers, because the manager can say one thing, but if the board or the owner disagrees, then that's two opinions conflicting. It won't happen. The board have the final say. But with a middleman, he has the ability to negotiate between both parties. So I think it's essential that we have one back.
I heard Michael Ballack's name was being Michael Ballack
I'd
was
say
being
that.
director of football.
Michael Ballack, I think, is probably the best shout that has come out of the topic of it so far. Personally, I can't think of anyone else who's got experience at Chelsea who I could say, oh yeah, they can come back as director of football. Because you may say, oh yeah, but ex-players, that type of thing, but I don't think director of football is the right role for somebody who's recently retired from Chelsea, or you know what I'm saying, like for example Drogba, like it's not the right position for him yet anyway. I think Ballack just suits us so well. He knows the club, he's got experience.
He's knowledgeable about. I think one of the key things is you have to be knowledgeable about other leagues.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and his knowledge on at least on the Bundesliga at least is quality in my opinion.
And there's some fantastic talent in the Bundesliga, and that could potentially offer an opportunity to loan some English from Chelsea out there as well,
Maybe.
potentially. But anyway, it's another great question. No worries, thank you very much.
Thanks, Scott.
We'll move on to Insta now. So we just got one. It's from Sean_Lindsay, and he asked, "What do you think about Willian's performances?" And I'm guessing this is just in recent games.
Williams come under a lot of stick this season again, and there's been questions about his consistency, his decision making in the final third. Not gonna lie, I do think he's being played too much, and I think that might be contributing to it as well because the player might just be exhausted.
Yeah.
But I think even Sarri said Pedro suits his system. Pedro's meant to be one of the most important players in the system, other than Hazard and Kante. So with that, why isn't he being played more?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the answer to that, but
Oh yeah.
what I can say is that I think Willian shouldn't even be here at the moment, and not saying because I don't like him, because I think I rate him and I respect
I
him.
know
He's just got player of the
I
season.
agree with you.
But there was an offer that came in from a certain Barcelona
60
in the
million.
summer. 60 million
And the
quid.
player turned 30 in August.
Exactly. I mean, that is not going to come around very often.
We could have got a new striker with that.
Exactly. Or we could have at least
Or we could
put
have
in for a
got,
new
or
winger.
we could have got a right winger. We're both of them off the title.
Exactly. And I think that it's like fair play, as I said, fair play to Willian. Like, he's been a great servant for Chelsea, getting player of the season not so long ago. But you can notice now the performance levels aren't what they used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, he hasn't been awful this season. He actually has had some good games, but it's just about, I don't know what I'm trying to think of the word, but I think sort of touching it before I talked anyway.
What is decision making?
Yeah, I think it's probably that around that type of thing. And like, there was one thing which got criticised for, like quite heavily, last season especially. I noticed the fact that he'll dribble to a certain point and then he'll dribble back again. He'll stop but it will allow players to get back. It will allow the opposition defenders to get back.
He beat 2 or 3 players. As soon as he gets to the final third, he just pause.
Yeah, and
By the time he does something, the defence is already back.
And it was like Moses. It was
Moses
similar
was
to
the
Moses.
same off the wing, but Moses just cut inside and then tried to beat the defender again and again and again, and then just hit a full cross.
Yeah, I mean it's just that I just think that Willian still has ability, but I don't know exactly where I stand at the moment with him, to be honest. It's just my personal opinion is
I think
we should have taken the money for him, but
I think one of Pedro Williams going to leave at the end of the season.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
I'd
think
be
so.
surprised.
It's because of age. We've got.
Mm.
I think both Pedro's 32, Williams 31. We need a younger right winger.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we talked about Pulisic last week.
Oh yeah, his name's come across.
As I said, we spoke about it last week in SBC anyway, so we won't discuss it again. You can have a go. You can go back and check it out. But yeah, that's all the questions from here. I just realised we forgot to get pints. We've been sitting here without drinking anything.
I'm not even thirsty. It's cool.
Well, I'm really thirsty and I'm starving hungry, so I wish I had, but never mind. Thanks for your questions this week, guys. We're gonna join you in Sad Bastard's Corner in a second for our Sad Bastard of the Week.
Alright guys, we're here at Sad Bastard's Corner to announce the Sad Bastard of the Week, and our Sad Bastard of the Week is at RV_Mr. Promo. So, congratulations, our Sad Bastard of the Week, and the question you've asked for us today is, do you think Chelsea fans are one of the most reactionary fans in the world due to being spoiled with past success?
I'd say no, but we're very up there.
How is that?
Personally, I just think there's too many people. Well, I mean, take this game as an example. It's not a disaster that we've lost. Like, it's the first loss of the season. Admittedly, it was against Spurs, but it's not an absolute total disaster. We've lost that game. But everyone's jumping on the bandwagons that have come from last season. And it's just like, just calm down. We're not in a crisis here.
Exactly. I wouldn't say we're one of the most reactionary fans in the world, but I'd say there are reactionary fans in every team.
Yeah.
Well, supporting every team.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd say based on our following, I'd say there's this people on Chelsea social media, man, which I see, and like obviously we say the odd one or two things which a lot of people don't agree with, but sometimes I think people just say some things which are like so. I just don't understand where they're thinking.
Some people on Twitter, they just type before they think. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's
what you want to talk about it?
Well, it's up to you.
I don't mind. Basically, what's been going on is over the last couple of days or so, apparently my vlogs are one of the reasons to blame for why we're in the position that we're in or something like that. Or it don't make sense, because I've been arguing with these guys all week and they don't seem to be making any sense.
Don't waste your breath about it. It's not worth it.
Not worth it?
Don't waste your breath about it.
It gives them more attention.
Exactly. I mean, I will say one thing on it. Hi, I have
Finally arrived.
So, but I said I have to make my weekly appearance at some point, don't I? But I think, for Lewis's sake, especially, look, I understand why a lot of people don't like fan channels. I completely understand that. However, all we do is take the debate that you have in the pub and put it online. And also, when you moan about the team or talk about Chelsea, we're doing exactly the same thing. We just have a bigger audience. It is as simple as that. We're literally just recording what we say and what we think.
Here's the thing that I've never really answered. How is one guy and one camera fucking up the atmosphere? You tell me how one guy has that sort of influence on 42,000 people.
And also, who's been taking... I'm sure a lot of you take pictures while you're in the ground as well, don't you?
Yeah, like you ain't ever seen a phone going around the fucking bridge. Here's the thing. People are saying, why would people be interested in watching me watch the game? Me recording myself is actually the easiest way for me to vlog and watch the game. So I'm actually watching the game myself, which is why I'm never looking at the camera when I'm vlogging. Because if I was staring at the camera, I wouldn't be watching the game, would I?
It's true.
But whenever you say this, they all go back to the same thing because we know what it's really about with some Chelsea fans.
What is it about?
You know what's about, and I'm not going to say it because I know what could develop out of it, but you know what it's about. That's the reason why other vloggers haven't really heard it as much as I have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true. You have been getting a lot of shit from people on Twitter about that. And that
No, but it's calm. I'm still happy.
no, but it's not. It's not calm. It's not calm. The fact that I know you're saying you're fine, but it's basically people condoning them saying it because you're a vlogger.
I wouldn't say people. Well, some people are condoning it, but that's because they're all cunts in themselves. But it's not like no one's been backing it. Nini's been saying stuff as well.
Well, no, Nini has been saying stuff as well. Nini's been backing you, and I know we all do. But it's kind of at the same time, we are. Apparently people want to beat us up.
Should I come out and give a slightly different perspective of things?
So you don't like vlogging. Really,
I
do you?
don't like it, but these guys accept it, and I accept what they do. But I don't. I just let them get on with it. They enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. And that's one of those opinions I don't think which many people
Here's
have.
the thing.
To be
Here's the thing.
honest.
That's another point in itself. You don't like vlogging, but you're a match-going fan.
Yeah.
Vlogs aren't for match-going fans.
Yeah.
Because there's 42,000 seats and there are millions of Chelsea fans.
Yeah.
And the vlogs are so they can get that experience. I'm not trying to have a go at you.
No.
That's
I
the
get
thing.
it.
The vlogs aren't generated for the match-going fans.
Yeah.
They're for the other fans.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not entirely in that situation where I don't like doing it because it's just at the games where I wouldn't do that.
I don't
Yeah.
do it.
So
I don't focus on it,
So obviously I'll do the Insta story, but I'll do it before the game and I'll do it after the game. And that's about it. I don't think I might have done it once or twice at half time or something, but that's not when the game's going on. But as I said, it's not. It doesn't mean that I hate what Lewis does. And I'm like, why are you doing that? It's such a stupid thing to do. Just if he wants to do it, what's wrong with that?
You know what the thing
What
is?
is wrong
People
with
just hate what they don't understand. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that.
Yeah.
If you don't understand something, you just grow to hate it.
and it comes back to the age-old truth which YouTubers say for years and years. In fact, general media has said, on paper, if you don't like reading it, don't read it. If you don't like watching it, don't watch it. It's literally as simple as
You know
that.
how many people had to say that to yesterday and they were still going on and on in circles?
Yeah, no,
Literally, it's either the
I
order
saw some 40 or 50-year-old man come after you. He's not clearly doesn't have better things to do with his time, does he?
This is the thing. It's either all the old years of hooliganism getting hit round the head too many times. That's all it is. Some fans have either been hit around the head too many times or sniffed too many lines. That's why they're not thinking straight.
Well, if they want to do what they want to do on a match day, to be honest, I don't see how we're affecting them. If we're embarrassing them, then
It says more about them than it does us.
it does.
People like our content. That's
People
all I
do.
care about.
There's a reason this channel just hit 76,000 subscribers. There's a reason it gets 1 million plus views a month.
Even though we've only lost one game this season, but we
Right.
apparently make profit out of failure.
Oh, we do definitely not make profit. Match tickets, hotels, food on match days,
Travel in itself.
travel, coming here to film this.
And that's just before we try to actually enjoy ourselves and have a social life.
It's as simple as that. We just support our own club in a different way, I believe that if people have an issue, instead of going on about us at Twitter, why don't you actually come and have a conversation, have a pint? I like having a chat over a coffee or a pint. That's what I like doing, and we can talk about it. If we at the end of the day, if we still don't agree with it, then fine. And I'm not there to change opinions. None of us are. But if you just want to have a conversation and understand where we come from, rather than just comparing us to other people saying we only do it for profit. I make Lewis get angry on fan cams on purpose. I make people do loads of stuff. I do it to make a pretty penny. I can tell you what, mate, I'm a student, I'm definitely not making a pretty penny. I can tell you that for free. Okay? So it's literally it's as simple as that. We do this because we love doing it. We don't do it for profit. At some point, it'd be amazing if this was our job. To say that you watch Chelsea as your job would be an amazing thing. But currently, that is not an option. So, yeah, you know what? These lads work hard. He gets too much shit. He gets too much shit. We all get too much shit. I'm used to it. I've been on this planet for 21 years now, and I've had wanker after wanker come after me. So
Exactly. People hate me. It's the story of my life.
Nice. Mate, I'm used to it, so I'm not that fucking worried about it. But yeah, you don't like us, don't watch it. Age-old answer. That's it.
Yeah. That is Sad Bastards Corner, and this is also the Sad Bastard Show. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this show, don't forget to like and subscribe to 100% Chelsea. Well, all social media links will be down in the description below. Jack, don't forget to follow him on his socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G as well. And we'll see you at Power, where I'll definitely be vlogging. Up the Chelsea.